Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today Home Assistant and Siemens Logo8 lighting integration. In last of my tutorial about how to connect Node-RED to Siemens Logo using modbus, I says sometimes good to have separate controller, PLC controller for lighting or heating, because if something goes wrong with your Home Assistant, this controller will do all the job. And basically today I'm gonna be using Logo to control the lighting. I have done in my home using UniPi controller, this one, but this one is far more expensive. Siemens Logo you can buy for 120, something like that. So if you got few lights to control, for example inside the home or maybe in the garden, then Logo will be ideal. So this is Logo Soft Comfort. I already pre-programmed Logo for Modbus communication. If you don't know how to program Node-RED with Modbus for Logo, watch my other tutorial, Home Assistant Hardwired Part 8. If you never program Modbus, then watch the full playlist, Home Assistant Hardwired. I will leave the links in the description below. So now it's no program, so let me drop the first program. So this is a simple version of the program. We got input 1 connected to the switch. If you want to use wall switch, you can connect to this input. Flag M41 is to read the switch from Home Assistant dashboard. Input 3 for motion detection sensor. Flag M43 for dusk entity, sun entity from the Home Assistant. Input 4 is for if you want to use light sensor, which will sometimes work if the light goes down. For example, if you got heavy clouds, you can have astronomical clock which works exactly the same as sun entity in the Home Assistant. Flag M44 is for Home Assistant at home entity, and flag M42 is for switch from Home Assistant for auto or manual mode. So how that works? Basically, the wall switch and the Home Assistant switch is connected to the OR gate. So either way, if the wall switch or Home Assistant switch is on, it will pass to the AND gate and then to the another OR gate. So to the OR gate also is connected the auto mode, so it will turn on the light if the motion is detected. So let me upload this program to the controller. So we can see what's going on now. Basically the switch is on. I got connected to the switch and the light is on. If I flip the switch off, it should go off. Basically now dusk is off, is no sun, the sun is on basically. I haven't got anything connected to the input 4 to simulate the light sensor. It's just a simulation here. At home entity is off and the auto is off. So let me go to Node-RED first to show you how I program Node-RED. So I'm reading all 3 flags at one go. As you can see, start from 8256, read call status, which is reading the flags, flag M1, flag M2 and flag M3. And it's connected via buffer parser. So we can have a light entity switch and the PIR. Basically, PIR you can use later for your home assistant alarm panel or for something else. The light switch from the dashboard, the auto switch from the dashboard, dusk, basically I use the switch for now because we're trying to simulate, show you how it works. And at home entity, usually you will basically have not the switch, but you will pick up the entity. And also I have an alarm switch. Say for example, if you have an alarm program on your home assistant, you wouldn't be using the switch, you will be using the alarm entity. The alarm entity will be in the next program for Logo, so now I won't be talking about this. So let me go to the dashboard. Dashboard, it looks like this. So let me turn on the auto, dusk, and at home. They all on. So basically now, if I trigger the motion sensor, it should switch the light via AND gate, goes to time of delay. It's set for 5 seconds, so the light should stay on for 5 seconds. So let me trigger the light. And the light was on for 5 seconds. So basically, the only problem with this one is we can read the switch position. We can see the light is on or off on the home assistant. Let me go one more time to the dashboard. Let me check. So basically, if I trigger the motion, is detected, the light is on, I can hear the relay clicks, but the switch stays off. So you could add another entity to read the light is on or off, but basically for now the switch wouldn't be coming on or off. You could have use these nodes to flip the switch, but basically with this kind of configuration, if the switch will flip when the PIR trigger the light, then technically it will stay on. It wouldn't go off when the PIR when the time delay off goes off. So you can't use this kind of configuration. I left them because in the next program for Logo I will show you how it works with those nodes. So maybe you can have a better idea how to do it with this program, how to flip the switch as well, but it wouldn't be working in this configuration what I did. You will have to add some stuff, but basically that's how it works with this program. The flow will stay the same for next program. I got 2 more programs to show you. So let me leave the flow for now and go back to Logo and upload the second program. So this one is far more complicated, at least looks far more complicated, but basically I was trying to make it so you can do various things, but if you don't need something, you just delete what you don't need. So we got, as on the previous one, at home entity via M44 flag, wall switch, input 1, home assistant switch from the dashboard, M41 flag, momentary push button IAT, which we didn't have in the previous one. We have PIR motion sensor to input 3 as in the previous one, home assistant sun entity, dusk sensor input 2, which is not connected in this one as well, and auto via M42 flag. Also on your logo, depends which logo version you buy, most of the logo version have the push buttons on the front and you can use those push buttons to trigger some action. So in this case I use the up cursor button so it's connected to the multiple function switch, and each time you press, the output will change the state. Let me show you by simulation. So this is C1. Each time I press, change the state, toggle the state. Also, I program, you have the display on logo as well, which you can program to display various things. So for example, I display at home entity, alarm active entity, dusk, and auto. Which ones are on off. You can do much more than this. This is just a sample, so I just done this one, quick and easy. Also, you can have, once you have on the display, you can have different colors of the display. So for example, depends which flag you're using, you can have this action. So once the flag get high state on the input, it will behave as the description. So in this case, M2129 flag, basically the display goes red. So I use this flag for alarm entity from Home Assistant. If you got alarm panel program on your Home Assistant, then basically you can use the entity, alarm entity, and you will see straight away your logo is red, is alarm state. It's just an example, so you can use it, you don't have to use it. Also, once it's in alarm state, it will go to the block asynchronic pulse generator. So I set 1 second on, 1 second off, if you wish, of course. Also, I've, one more thing, those flags, you can have white display, amber display, and red. Basically they have priority, so the smallest priority is white, then it's amber, and then it's red. So if they all on, will be red. If these two, amber and white, are on, then the amber will show. Then if it's only high state on the white, then it will be white. So let me upload this program and show you how it works. So basically now I'm doing online mode. None of them are active right now. Peer motion, I forgot to say in the previous program. I got Pyronics alarm motion sensor, so basically they always on unless detect the motion, then goes off. Basically it's done like this because if someone cut the cable, it will be always off, no matter do the sensor detect the motion or not. In this case, if it's always on and someone cut the cable, it will be always on. So it will go off, break the circuit, so alarm will go off. So okay, let me go to Node-RED again. Let me link this ones. And upload. So now all this three is on, but they are off, as you can see. They not red. Auto, sun, and at home. Basically each time you upload the program, they will reset to off. So what I did in Home Assistant as well, in Node-RED, I use poll entity. So it reads the state every this one reads the state every 29 seconds and update the flag in your Home Assistant. I done it like this, 29. The other ones I think are 23, 26 and 32. Basically I done this time to read every time because to show you, but if I program in my home I wouldn't be using 20 seconds or 50 seconds. I will use probably 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, and it will be far enough. You won't be doing this every day or every month even. I mean, you wouldn't be uploading the program to Logo to reset, so you need that entity. So 2 minutes is much enough. So I need to link this once. I forgot. So now they should appear. Yes, one. And auto. Okay. Let me upload again. Oh, I can't do it now. Okay, so let we go to the dashboard. So now it's in auto and I'm at home basically. So each time I trigger the motion, the PIR will show detected and the switch will flip like this. So let me switch the auto off now. And now I use the wall switch. So now it's off. Even if the motion is detected, the light stay off and the light switch doesn't flip. So, but this program allows me, so if I switch the wall switch on, the light switch will flip as well and the light will come on. And I think this is the best way. And if I don't do anything, I just flip the light. The light will come on as well. Let me show you on this one. This is wall switch. Just to explain how it works, basically this is the input one, the wall switch one. So the signal goes to AND gate, but AND edge. So each time the input goes to on state, the output will be on, but only pulse output. The same, the other leg goes to the NOT gate, which inverts the signal. So each time the switch goes off, the second AND gate will just give the pulse output. So each time you change the pulse goes through and through those gates as well, then through the OR gate to latch relay. Latch relay basically works if it have two inputs. One input is the trigger, so if you have high state on the trigger, the output will become on. So even if the pulse input goes on, the output will stay on all the time, unless you reset by the input, by this second input. So basically, if it's on, goes through those gates and trigger the latch relay to on, and then if the switch flips off, goes to invert the signal, and then goes through all these gates to reset. This is basically how it works. So I'm not sure, do you want to use all of it? I think doesn't make sense. like in my home, I use most of the lights I use for only motion detection. I don't use the switches practically at all. My switches works. If I need to, something goes wrong with Home Assistant, I always can use the switch on the wall. But barely happened. I maybe use the switch once per few months. So do you need whole lot? Is up to you. So let me show you one more configuration. This one actually works a little bit different. This one works in the way so each change of state will trigger this piece. I mean each change of state on the input. In this case we got possible to use a push button switch, momentary push button on off, or the wall switch, or Home Assistant dashboard switch. So each time the change state, it will trigger this function, few functions. These three blocks represent the same functionality as the multifunction switch, sorry, this one. So let me show you on the simulation mode. So C2. Each time I press this button, as you can see, these three blocks works the same way as the multifunction switch set in my first or second program. So the same this piece is done the same way as a multifunction switch. Basically, I done this program as a very first one, but in my opinion it's far too complicated, and I found sometimes doesn't work properly. You have to flip the switch twice, but I think the second version, which I showed you just before this one, works the best way. Basically, all these three programs you will be able to download from my website. I will drop a zip file with all those programs and the Node-RED flow, so you can play with it. If you haven't got the logo, the device, you can download the Logo8 Comfort from Siemens website, and it's free. The free version is exactly the same as a pay version. The pay version is only different because you can upload to physical logo controller. The free version you can't upload your program to physical logo controller. So basically you will be able to test the program in simulation mode like now, so you can play with it. Only what you may have to do, as you can see, I can have the switches, push button on the front keypad, and the inputs, I can switch them on off, but I can't do anything about the flags. So if you haven't got the logo, just change the input flags for inputs, normal inputs. This one. Delete and put an input and link up the same way. And you will be able to play with the program on simulation mode. Okay, this is almost end of this video, so in the end, what I would like to say, you don't have to use the Logo8. You can use a different controller. Most PLC controllers have most of the same functionality, like end blocks, OR blocks, time of delay blocks, or latch relays. What I have to say, most of the controllers doesn't have the capability like flag or like multifunction switch. So if you haven't got the multifunction switch functionality on different kind of controller, maybe you want to use not Siemens Logo but Unipy. Unipy haven't got those switches, so you can use this kind of configuration, and instead of using this flag you can use I think it's called edge gate or something like this. I can't remember right now, but it's one block which you can use instead. So you can just copy the same blocks, link them up in the same way, and try it, and it should work pretty the same. So it doesn't have to be logo. Another thing which I like to say, as you probably see by now, is a completely different way of programming than the Node-RED. Basically, Node-RED is a message flow. So let me go to Node-RED, for example. Once you got this, is a good to show. Node-RED is a message flow, so that message once get received on modbus read node, pass to the buffer parser, and then pass it through to whichever it's going to, and basically is not there anymore. It just go pass through all those nodes. In the PLC programming, once the block is in high or low state, it's always in that state. As you can see, red it's high, blue is low, so it's always present. So you have to be aware of this. So you can't use, say for example, one input cannot be used from various outputs. So I can't link up, one second, I can't link up to the same input various outputs, like is already output from flag M41 connected to this. I can't link up another one. It will show me incompatible. So in Node-RED you will be able to link up maybe 20 if you wish. You can't do this in PLC programming. One input can serve only one link. Basically it's not difficult in my opinion. Once you start it, you will realize it's far easier than the Node-RED, in my opinion. That's how it goes with me. So it's about to play with it. Simulation in the logo, it's another great idea. You don't have this in many different controllers. Most of the controllers you can use debugging function, or some of the controllers you can use, they have implemented live programming. I don't have to use the upload button. Once you link up the blocks, they already link up and you don't have to do anything. It's done. So depends which programmer you will use to play with or to fit. You will know how to use it, I'm pretty sure. So this is all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it, and see you in next video.